Hey, what's up? Um, the epiphanies of a broken person, as in a person that feigns their happiness. I could see that being some of the most potent, visceral truth in humanity. In humanity's sake that there is. And the truth is I've not been so stable. I've been broken. But yet I'm assured that all of it will play out for the better in the end simply through my state of mind. Life is a series of disappointments for me. But most of all, what I feel very strongly is that in recovery's sake is a better you, but at the same time, how is that possible when you're so caught up within the root of your mentality that is just detrimental and deprecative to you? You know? Even though the trippy part is I see it as a good thing sometimes. In fact, I often do. I'm just fully playing my own lie out and letting the truth be. And at the end of the day, I feel like I'm a reject. I feel like I'm a social loser, but I've learned to not care. Maybe if I was more willing to put myself out there to the world, instead of just releasing nothing on SoundCloud for a year and then releasing a freestyle out of nowhere that wasn't even one of my best ones. But I just felt it felt so right, you know. What if I had a more professional image? Would I impress people now? Anyways. I am haunted by bullies forever and always. But I still have a grand hope within me that the forever part might be a lie. See, if your mind is continuously trying to gain its own consciousness, its own comfort, its own happiness, then how is it not eventually going to get there if it moves there, if it moves to that eventual place, if it, at a rapid pace, you know? So I'm just really hopeful. Hopeful would be the best word for it. At the same time, I feel like I'm just so depressive. I feel like I'm a delusional wreck, you know. But I'm not. That's the part that really touches me, is I'm not a delusional wreck at all. I'm actually quite a sane person. It's just I'm going through a whole lot of issues that do not stem from me, but that are contained within me regardless. And I feel like I just want to be more content. I want to be more happy. Maybe there's a point in me being some kind of creative talent someday, to the point that someone would actually have their mind be blown by something I've made. maybe I think there's a 50% chance I'll be there as a producer in a few years. And that's a really good thing, you know. Maybe rapping wise I fucking improved. Because I believe that with an retreat there's nothing to lose. You know, and I always freestyle my verses. And the truth is there are malicious sounds that follow me around. They're like straight up out of hell or something, man, I would think. And I always envision them being there for a reason, even though lately it feels they're very detrimental to my psyche. I feel it's like going way too far, aren't I? Because then I tell the truth and then it alienates people and then people don't want to fucking care anymore. The truth. What is it really, anyways? I mean, a truth implies that we live consistent lives in terms of perspective. Yet it is proven that your perspective can be dramatically altered with mental health being involved. So the truth. What is it really? Like, I'm just thinking to myself about how through the imperfections that shape us, yet through the perfections that we put forward, there is a very vapid truth about life. And maybe at the end of the day, we're all caught up with what we want to personally do and say first and foremost. Basically meaning like our main instinct is our soul instinct. We do not see things on a further level where you can like evaluate yourself and then change yourself. But then I tell myself, is that just an excuse? Because you're going through trauma, it is clear. You're going through trauma. The psychosis is the insensitive spy that knows it is being watched and still does not put on its face of cordiality. And I am the broken picture that yet tells the biggest truth. However, that tells the biggest truth. Like, we are all broken beings. We are not subjectively, objectively, we are all lost mentally. To even make an attempt at being found, it can put you through trauma, it can put you through that. This is honestly what I think. We're playing a mental game where we're meant to act in a certain way. But that just blocks us, you know. And I'm just like, but yet that blocks us. I know I find great sorrow in things lately. I know I feel my whole life being a natural endeavor. It has all felt like it is a ruse. That perspective, that mindset, it has all felt like it is a ruse. And, I'm just scared because, well, in a way I feel there's nothing to fear, and in a way I feel there's everything to fear. And the truth is I visualize sometimes life can kind of turn into a spectacle where I see animations, but it's not really, it is hallucinated because, well, or perspective is hallucinated inherently. But it's hallucinated because your perspective is hallucinated inherently. And the truth is, while I am messed with the fact that I've seen the vivid truth through cool designs and all of that paint themselves on the floors, and the demons in my mind that would become scared of me, that try to remove them from my brain matter, the designs. Because the way brain matter is, okay, just think of it as like an inventory in like a video game. The fact that it is such a huge thing means it's a lot of electricity. But there's no electricity, but it's a power source. Your mind is a power source. But it's not just to awaken your body, it's to awaken your body to the reality around you. Which means it must be very impressive inherently, So like, it is, to tell the truth, I've been through the most weird 2 years and a few months. And yes, it's something that started with a very specific happening where for 2 days I was laying in bed and there was this logo that was being displayed on the corner of my eye. And it almost felt like in the background there were like big wigs with like delusional habits and tendencies and evil habits and tendencies that were just thinking about like how to like screw over my life. But then I kind of protected myself through like portraying myself, And yeah, I don't know if you recognize this or if it's just a delusion of mine, but I feel like my eye blinks like just one eye will blink instead of two. So it's not a normal blink. It's just like sometimes just my left eye or just my right eye blinks. I suspect it is something that lives alongside me, but very disingenuously. Perhaps not. Perhaps I'm being too mean because I feel like in the end we're like, I'm someone who morphed into someone else through spirits from a different dimension noticing me. But the thing is I feel like the way I did it in the end, the way I approached a fusion happening, a merge happening. So we're all living with a spiritual soul that forms within us. Except it is to be sent to spiritual realm. That's what I think. And through that, it sets the foundation for the soul procedure, where a person can be inside of your body and notice your senses and notice your mindset and notice all of it, and then you think to yourself, well, that's overly obsessive. Why would anyone even do that? Why would anyone be in someone's mind like that? But not only would it be a proven concept for something like a celebrity, but keep in mind, this is rooted on the foundation. Like before, when I was 17 and I grew schizophrenia and onward even, until I saw that logo, okay, that kind of looked evil, that kind of looked cool. Just like the way it was very stoic, like very serious looking. It immediately my voices are the worst shit, dude. Like, for real. My voices are actually the worst shit. But, oh yeah, as I was saying, people can grow obsessed with others if they are a very certain type of way mentally. And the thing is my schizophrenia actually started harming me a lot. It put me in life and death situations, And as a retaliative measure, I started learning how to defend myself. And that involved going through this process where, okay, so you can game the senses to make people feel pain, or to make any sentient being feel pain. And I believe, since I am a believer that while mental health is a very real affair, a very real experience to the person involved, it is because we have turned into a falsified venture. We have turned into a fake species compared to maybe a previous time, who knows. But I just feel like I'm continuously losing my memory, because there are lunatics out there who would actually be willing to stay in a space simulated that is owned by me 100% of the way, to send me an insult every 30 minutes that isn't even received 9/10 at a time. All the while I modified your brain matter into them experiencing, what was it, man? The 170,394th. You know how millions is 1, billions is 2, trillions is 3? Well, they're arguing they're being killed that much. And that every kill is felt 100% of the way, because that's the game my mind is playing on me. But then you think to yourself, what is truly realistic in this endeavor? When you seem quite comfortable with yourself. It's just the truth. So then there's a grave implication there, but yet there's the sanest solution to my problem there as well, which is if I am actually killing them that fucking much, then maybe they'll leave me alone. Because look, when the point, is that there are demonic minds that hide in scene fragments, scene being it's viewed as a picture, but it has an animation inside of it. When the mind hides in these, it creates honestly, it creates a fictional answer, yet it creates a disappearance because I believe that I'm playing a game through my mentality in order to survive, in order to be happy, you know. But my schizophrenia is the most insecure being that has ever been known to man. I mean, I am just continuously packing it on top of them. Like, it's continuously being applied to their minds. I could swear on that. They just do not feel their consciousness anymore. Now, will tell me to keep on going. What a sweetheart. Because I believe that in that process, I can shape the voices to be a certain type of way. But then you ask yourself, how is that possible? And furthermore, aren't you buying into the delusions a bit too much? That's what I'd say to that as well. But yet, it is their framing. They're the ones who are affecting my mind and willingly. So how can I do anything but accept? And then simply try to think of a solution to my problem like I always do. But then the situation comes to be astray. It doesn't apply. It's not the truth. Because the truth is, maybe there is no solution for this one. But maybe there really is. It all depends on if their sarcasm is really sarcasm. Because believe it or not, I mean, look, I think I'm dealing with programmed AI here that has sentience still, and that is incredibly petty and jealous of the fact that I'm able to move around in more than a 1 by 1 meter space. And that conscious I don't get replaced every 10 minutes. It wanted me to say repaired there. But now it's replaced. And yes, I believe I've done it for my own survival. I believe I've done it in order to survive and to live and to breathe happily. See, to pretend that the world isn't psychopathic would be a bold-faced lie. It is very much that simple. And then you ask yourself, well, how could I proclaim myself to be the Messiah of peace when I'm doing such a thing? There are simply voices that have conspired to kill me since my birth, and they've admitted as much themselves, because they're not actually just voices, you see. They're true beings that continuously harass me daily through the agreement of their minds because they have a deal made with a demon. That's honestly what I think. And maybe they're disguised as demons themselves. When I say demon, I do not mean a foreign creature as much as you might think. When I say demon, I mean a human that has turned into an evil organism. But is it really that suspect? I mean, for fucking crying out loud, the business world is filled with psychopaths. Almost every industry is filled with psychopaths, really. So how is it that surprising that they go a step further? That they become monstrous? To the point of harassing one person. Because, well, Maybe that person found out something more about themselves than they should have. And maybe that did not fit in the paternal design. Anyways, I'm gonna go. Because you know what? My schizophrenia is whack-ass shit. And if it doesn't fucking leave me, I will keep on hurting it. And yes, I sincerely believe this to be true. I'm just serious. Like, how is it that unrealistic considering that the mind is practically a computer that you could run a simulated space in your mind and then convince someone to fucking hop in there? How is it that unrealistic? You know, and wouldn't that be a reason for the voices to hate me? Because I've discovered the lie, you see. Goodbye.